What does the Myrtle Beach Air Base Redevelopment Authority and the area's newest urban village have in common? You'll find out coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the leasing office for the Market Common Myrtle Beach on the corner of Faro Parkway and Phyllis Boulevard. We're focused on this Saturday's 14th annual American Hardball, and we're visiting with the senior project manager for the Market Common, Buddy Styers. Good morning, Buddy.
Welcome, Greg.
And of course, the executive director of the Myrtle Beach Air Force Base Redevelopment Authority, who I think y'all had a meeting even last night.
Yes, we did. We had once again, we have 9 very, very committed volunteers who were appointed to be members of the authority. We had a meeting. It was very successful, accomplished some budgeting things, and everything's going well for us.
Now, I know you're not wearing a hat today, Buddy, but you normally wear 2 hats almost every day, and of course your office on at least one day a week is next door in the Myrtle Beach Air Base Redevelopment Authority's office, and then your office for the Market Common, I think, is just a couple of blocks from here. So you are don't have to travel too far for work, I guess, when you're going from one to the other.
Well, you know, it was an absolute perfect opportunity for me to continue the Redevelopment Authority's work and yet continue to help Dan McCaffrey and McCaffrey Interest, who's the developer out here, to complete the Market Common, which I've been committed to since August of '95.
Is that right?
It seems like it's
committed
been
to the
lifetime.
Dream, yeah.
Committed to the dream, the vision that the city had before the Redevelopment Authority was even established.
Yeah, it must be exciting for you, Buddy.
It really is. There were days that I didn't think it would come, and there were days that my authority members didn't think it would come. But they stood their ground, they held in it, they supported me, and approved the right kind of decisions, and here we are. It's happening. Well,
I want to thank you again 6, 7, 8 months ago when we were together at Carolina Trust Federal Credit Union, highlighting what was coming up a year from then, which of course is only 40-some days away, the April 3rd opening here. But right after that, you helped open the doors to get some great guests in, Harold Stowe and the General Bob Reed, some wonderful, as you say, dedicated volunteers that year after year now have helped follow that vision to make the former Myrtle Beach Air Force Base really something into something special.
Well, and those Harold Stowe, General Bob Reed, and George Graham, an attorney from Conway, have been members since the very beginning, and they've been very committed, dedicated. They make every meeting, and that cohesive thought process about where we're going, what we're doing, has made an awful lot of difference. Right.
You've seen that all the time.
Now,
for viewers who've never been out here before, the Market Common is in the center of?
In the center of what was the town center of the Air Force Base when it was operational before it closed in March of 1993. And it always surprises me, even locally here, when I talk to people that still haven't driven Faro Parkway and seen the beautiful Warbird Park and the Air Force airplanes that we have out there, and also the Market Common, which, as you said just a minute ago, is coming, and it'll be here noontime on April the 3rd. We'll have a grand opening ceremony, and we hope to have a lot of important people come in to help acknowledge that we have done it.
Oh yeah, Thursday, April 3rd, another Thursday, just fast forward 7 weeks from now, and you think about the excitement, obviously, for folks to wrap around as it gets this close, Buddy. I mean, can you imagine that almost a year ago we were seated together and you were talking about something a year in advance, and much of this just didn't look like it does today?
Well, right now we stand to have about 85% of 350,000 square feet of the Market Common open on April the 3rd.
Wow.
And the tenants that we've signed, Tommy Bahama, Orvis, P.F. Chang, which people go crazy over P.F. Chang.
Right.
When you look at that extensive list of tenants that we've got, we will be opened with them on April 3rd, and we sure hope everybody will show up to get in the stores and to see what the place looks like.
And for many days after that, not
and
just
for a
Thursday,
long
April
time
3rd,
after that,
but,
we'll be open.
but for
you
many
bet.
days, obviously, and you'll have a lot of dignitaries from all over, not only the developers, but I think I saw Governor Sanford on the itinerary and many others. He was here in October of 06, I guess.
He was October the 11th, which was groundbreaking day.
Right.
He was here then, and it. When you think back and look about it, October the 11th, 06 is the day we broke ground. We actually started construction about 3 days later, and here we are just in February of 08,
right,
looking and knowing that we're going to have a grand opening.
It's amazing, buddy. Yeah, and for you, having traversed what is now Faro Parkway, but some of the interconnecting roads over the years, again, for you, it's probably more exciting than anybody. You and some of the folks who've been with the Myrtle Beach Air Base Redevelopment Authorities, you highlighted some of the volunteer board members there, but for you, it must be amazing.
It's something, when you think back that the Redevelopment Authority has spent better than $35 million on public infrastructure, Faro Parkway, Howard Avenue, the regional stormwater management system. We did all of that with money we generated through the leasing and selling of property we bought from the Air Force.
Right.
No tax dollars. We did it ourselves. That's one thing that makes it really good
right.
and interesting to people. And you know, we demolished 93 functionally obsolete Air Force buildings that just had no place here
right.
in the market common.
Right, right.
And we stayed true to the vision that the city had and what we wanted to do. City has been wonderful to us. They have not been easy, but we're partners in this, and I know
right.
the city elected officials and the city staff all recognize that we're not out here doing this all by ourselves. We're partners.
Very definitely. You know, a lot of folks, of course, if they take the time to come to this leasing office, they can see this magnificent model that gives a good bird's eye view of what all the facilities about before April 3rd, so they can get a sense of it. They can go to your website, marketcommonmb.com, to get a sense of it. But if you were giving just a little tour, a visual, and we're trying to explain to somebody, let's say you're on a very long elevator and just giving someone an elevator tour of the facility, let's say entering just from right out at the lake area, if you were entering, just give viewers a sense of what all they're going to see coming in.
Well, what they're going to see when they get here, they're going to see a town center, which was what the community said they wanted to have out here. They will see numerous retail stores, restaurants. They will also be lots of parks and recreation, passive recreation and active recreation opportunities. There will be sidewalk cafes where people can sit outside a beautiful day like
right.
Like we're going to have
right.
today.
Right.
And it's going to be a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And there will be people here consistently. We
right.
will have 195 rental apartments.
Is that right?
About
Great.
8 overtop the retail. Right now, the plans are for 81 of those to be transient accommodations. The other 104 will be annual rentals.
Great.
We're in the process right now of renting those units, and we hope people will get interested and can come to the leasing trailer here and talk to our people that are responsible for the leasing.
Sure.
And it's going to be something that doesn't exist in Myrtle Beach, where you can always find activity and always find people. Mm-hmm. We will have a 14-screen theater.
Oh, wow.
So
right here.
Right here.
It'll be opening on April 3rd?
You betcha.
Get down.
I wish people would come out and just ride by and look at what's there. And but it's gonna be exciting. I think it's gonna be interesting. I think we stand a real good chance of getting people between here and Wilmington coming to the beach instead of going to Wilmington to spend the day and to shop. People from Florence are going to come to the beach instead of driving to Columbia. People in Georgetown, south of Debbie-Doo, are going to come here to shop rather than go to Charleston.
I love it.
I do too, and I think it's going to be wonderful for the community. It's something that was needed. It doesn't exist in the community like it is right now, and I think it's going to be unbelievably exciting.
It is, and of course it's so easy to find for viewers who are coming in from the PD heading straight down 501, take the bypass south, and then the former back gate of the Air Force Base, which I guess is the terminus of Faro Parkway.
Yes, it is.
Just taking a left at that light and cruising on in that beautiful 4-lane road that feeds right in to the Market Common.
When you get into the area, you can't miss it.
Same thing if you're coming down from Wilmington, for our viewers in Brunswick and Columbus County, or coming down the bypass and head on down and follow that same route, or coming up from Georgetown County or Charleston. They'll just be utilizing the bypass, or even on business, to come into the former front gate of the airbase, the terminus of Ocean Boulevard, traveling down from all the hotels to get on here. But it's not just the Market Common. There's a lot more to it. What you had here at the former Air Force Base is so much more, and there'll be a lot of folks living right around the Market Common that will feed this area.
There are already 1,000 residential units that exist today in the base, the former military family housing, Windsor Gate, cottages. All of those are already existing. 7 to 10 years at full build out, this side of the airbase could easily have 6,000 to 7,000 residential units.
No, here on the former Air Force
Base. On the former base. And
that's amazing.
I think it could become a real key element in the whole Grand Strand.
I think I saw, Buddy, there's going to be another entrance there a little south of the airbase. It looks like about 3/4 of a mile south, across from Azalea Lakes Medical Park. It looks like there's going to be another entrance into the former Air Force Base.
Yes, it will, and that will provide another way for people to get in here. We have wonderful parks, and the city right now is renovating the Crabtree Gymnasium to the tune of about $6 million.
Is that right?
They have plans to add a natatorium, which for
what
people like me who didn't know what it was, it's an Olympic swimming pool complex.
Is that right? Where will that be, buddy?
That'll be on the adjacent to and attached to Crabtree Gym.
Really? And that's going to happen, buddy?
That's in the plans. And then across the street is going to be right now it's a 7 multi-use field, athletic field complex that will do wonders for sports tourism. The city believes they can use those fields 42 weeks out of each year to have softball teams, baseball teams come to the beach, play tournaments, enjoy the beach like the rest of us do, and that's in the plan too. That's about a $9 million project. So it's people won't recognize it. They don't recognize it today. They won't recognize it 3 years from now when it's really built out and looking good.
You mentioned a number of national, even international brands that are showing up here. You also have a lot of local folks that have decided to make the Market Common home. You know, we think of Divine Dining just because they're ubiquitous with fine dining, as well as dining for everyone. I think they're opening 3 locations here. I saw a lot of folks, Booty Shelley down in Merle's Inlet, who's committed here, Izzy B. A lot of local folks that have said, you know, it's not just going to be Barnes & Noble, P.F. Chang's, Orvis, and Tommy Bahama, and many other amazing national brands, but we're going to make a difference here as well.
Well, and I tried very diligently to get local people to recognize that there is tremendous opportunity for them out here because of the both tourism traffic and local traffic that I think we will get a lot of. We right now only have less than 15,000 square feet out of that 350 that we don't have an active prospect for.
Is that right?
There is lots of opportunity. We have an additional 30-some thousand square feet that we are in one stage or another in the leasing process.
Okay, great.
You know, doing the letter of intent, negotiating the deal, completing the lease.
Sure.
And I hope people will locally who want an opportunity to be a part of and benefit from this will come out to see us and get in touch with us, because I really truly believe that there is going to be just such a tremendous opportunity out here.
Well, this is such a prime location. Your leasing office is right across the street from Piggly Wiggly, right across from where the Barnes & Noble will end up. And, of course, this is the Barnes & Noble that forever has been up in Myrtle Beach, in the heart of Myrtle, on the seaboard area, and it's heading down. Are they actually going to close that location, or
That's
there'll be two?
That's what I understand.
We're
They're
told
gonna
that this
close
is
that
going to be
one.
the only location in the Myrtle Beach area, this Barnes & Noble here. That in and of itself, that's worth a lot of folks visiting the air base, buddy, and visiting the Market Common, Myrtle Beach.
Last Friday, I got a tour of the Pig,
Yeah.
as the Piggly Wiggly employees refer to their product there. People need to come see that. There,
Really?
I promise you, and I'll buy you a hot dog if I'm not telling the truth. There's not a store like that in Horry County.
Oh, come
in
on.
South Carolina. You ought to see it. It is absolutely gorgeous. It has such new and unique things that people won't
Give
expect.
us a hint. Give us a little bit. Just something that
They
really
have
stood
a-
out in your
they-
mind.
They have a thing in there called Meals Assembly, I believe is what they call it.
Right.
And this, it was explained to us, started on the West Coast.
Right.
And you can go in, and when you want meals prepared for you and your daughter, you go in, and the food is there. You can make your plates,
Right.
and they can be stored there while you shop, and then you come back, you take it home, put it in the oven, and you cook it.
No, buddy.
Everything is provided. It is a fantastic
You are kidding.
idea. But the rest of it, it has a really new layout for
Yeah.
food. You're not going to see shelf after shelf of peas and corn and stuff like that. It's
Right.
spread around so that it makes shopping really pleasurable.
That's tremendous. Now, is anything going to open before April 3rd?
No.
Okay.
What we expect to happen is that some of the restaurants will be having what would be called
Quiet.
soft openings, and
right.
they'll be trying to get their people trained and get their systems working, make
Yeah.
sure everything works.
Yeah.
But we expect every one of our stores has committed to being open on that April 3rd.
That is tremendous, buddy. And of course, to think about that flood of almost 300,000 or more square feet of retail and then office space opening in the not too distant future, all popping up on one day. That's probably one of a kind.
We expect to have a big crowd here on
Yeah.
April the 3rd at noontime.
Thursday, April 3rd. And I saw there's a lot of events. You've got a great press kit, a lot of other events online at marketcommonmb.com
We will have
that
fireworks
highlight for a couple of days,
Yeah, we
activities
will.
for a couple of days.
It'll run through Saturday night of that weekend. We'll have fireworks. We'll have events going on.
Right.
Everything that we can do to get people enthused to come out and enjoy what we've been able to put together.
Oh yeah. I'd hate to put you on the spot, buddy, by asking what is most exciting to you? What is tickling your fancy the most? The store you want to open and actually know they can run your credit card or take some cash from you? Is anything really tickling you?
What's been unbelievable interest to me is P.F. Chang's.
Is that right?
Because I've never seen one.
Yeah.
Everybody I know here at the beach, the minute I say P.F. Chang, they just go nuts.
Really?
And it's
Yeah.
made me really enthused about it.
Perk up.
I would say that and Orvis, the outdoor
Orvis,
gear,
yes.
and also Shelley's Booty's place.
And
his
Booty's
outdoor
coming
stuff.
in, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're going to do a great job. So as we list, and I'd hate to even start naming ones, you've highlighted some, but as you go down, Gordon Bierce, the brewery.
And I have eaten at a Gordon Bierce in Atlanta just
Right.
by accident, and what a tremendous,
Right.
wonderful restaurant. You know, we'll have a full-scale Ann Taylor's Anthropology.
Yeah. Go ahead. Why don't you just go ahead and share with viewers real quick, since we got a
Bath and
couple
Body
of minutes,
Works,
so we don't miss
Victoria's
any.
Secret, Brooks Brothers, Carlisle and Company, Chico's, Cold Stone Creamery,
Republic,
Banana Republic. Jack Devine, as we said, is going to have a tremendous restaurant over there that's going to be actually two restaurants.
This Divine Prime and
Roy
and
and
Sid's.
Sid's. It's
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
something.
Tell us about Blue Mare. I see that.
I can't.
Okay, great.
I
There's so
do
many
not-
new locations.
There are so many
that,
of them, I don't know what
I'm
they
looking
are.
at Blue Mare, which I
Yeah.
saw is locally owned and operated. And
Pottery Barn.
Right.
We're going to have a
Pottery
tremendous
Barn.
Pottery Barn, Williams-Sonoma.
absolutely, that's a big deal. And
That
White
is a
House Black Market.
White House Black Market, Copper Penny shoes.
And you like saying Penny, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Absolutely.
And
With your
Penny
beautiful-
will be out here, I'm
Beautiful
sure.
bride, Penny will love to go in there. That's
she
right.
will. She
And the
will.
Grand 14 Cinemas, in and of itself, to have that here on the air base, and of course, as you pointed out, 1,000 residential units already here. The cottages on Faro, the condos over there, a lot of the ones that have sold off recently near the dog park, and of course the 800 former residences on the air base. That's going to be a lot of people to just flood this area who'll be able to walk here on a constant basis, aside from the Withers Preserve and its 3,700 acres that they're developing and selling off?
It's going to be something, because Dock Street Communities, of course, is speedily putting up the townhomes down there. They seem to be selling well for Dock Street.
Oh, yeah.
People are already living in the units across from the chapel, what was the base chapel.
Right.
And Horry Georgetown Tech has done a fantastic job.
The Robert Spear,
Robert Spear Allied Healthcare Center, which should come online in May.
Thank you again for y'all's donation. The Myrtle Beach Air Base Redevelopment Authority, aside from all of this infrastructure that's been put in play for the Market Common and for Withers Preserve and so many others, as well as just locals who like to get to 17 business a lot faster now that Faro Parkway is in play, but to see what y'all have done in donating so much to the Red Cross, to the Horry Georgetown Technical College, as well as opening the doors for some great small business owners and large business owners to buy establishments out here. The Myrtle Beach Air Base Redevelopment Authority has been a joy.
Well, you know, another thing that people need to know about is we have these live-work townhomes that have about, on the ground floor, 600-700 square feet of space that they might put a flower shop, any kind of little thing like that, a coffee shop with pastries and donuts, and all of those are possible out here too. So I wish people would really take a Sunday afternoon or whatever, or any time it's convenient, and just ride through and look. And I think every day I go out there, we are actually right now paving the parking lots, paving the roads. So we're well on our way to being prepared for our grand opening on the 3rd of April.
I was thinking about the best phone number, buddy, for folks to call, whether it's your number or if it's the leasing number. I'm looking at 238-1614 number.
That would be the leasing number, and we have people here that can answer that and would be delighted to show them the property and talk to them about leasing opportunity.
843-238-1614.
1614.
Okay, great.
Correct.
And of course, MarketCommonMB.com. A lot of great information on that. And McCaffrey Interest, they're not a small local operation. I mean, this is a big national operation that has done similar facilities.
They really have
all over the country. Where are some of their other great facilities?
People can go online and look at ClarendonCommons.com in Arlington, Virginia.
Yes,
which
beautiful
is a very
facility.
similar project, but it's about a fourth the size of ours.
Is that right? That much smaller?
They have done wonderful projects. They've done fantastic. They are developers. That's what they do. They have great credibility and great relationships with the tenants that we have.
Sure.
They've done a terrific job. Dan McCaffrey, the very first time I met him as the director of the Redevelopment Authority, and this sounds self-serving, and I don't mean it to, but I felt good about him. I felt that he was a man of his word, and he's proven he is. He has done what he said he was going to do.
Speaking of that, tell us a little about Fred and Sue and Jim as well.
Well, we have our financial partner, Leucadia International, purchased a company by the name of Resort Quest. They will manage those 195 rental units that are above the retail that I told you about. Rachel Mullett will be the property manager, David Washburn, and then Fred Glover works for McCaffrey Interest, and he is responsible for the leasing of our office building. We're building a first-class office building here. Nobody can touch this. Right across the street from Tommy Bahama, you can come
Gordon
out,
Biersch,
walk.
absolutely.
Gordon Biersch right next door. Great opportunity for any business that would like to come out and be a part of this.
And Jim and Sue, two other names that pop up in the fact sheet there.
Our project manager for construction is Jim Stamen. He was the project manager for Clarendon Commons and for two other big projects. Fantastic job, knows his business and takes care of business. Sue Bonin, you mentioned, will be the general manager of the Market Common.
Is that right? The whole kit and caboodle?
The whole thing.
Wow.
She will be in charge, and we're looking forward to a ceremony where we hand her the keys and say,
I love it.
Here it is. It's yours. We built it, and now you get to run it. And,
that is great, buddy. Well, I hope you will talk to her about coming in and being a guest on the show prior to y'all's opening and
I think
even
it would
thereafter.
be a terrific opportunity because she is she's trying to get ready for operations. We're developing and constructing, but she will be in charge of running the place once it comes online.
That's wonderful, buddy. And what's the best part for you now? What's the most exciting, knowing that we're literally 42 days away 6 weeks away from opening. What's the best part for you?
You know, Greg, I thought numerous times that when I ended my Air Force career that I could not do anything that would top that, because it was such a prideful thing to do, to be a part of the Air Force for 26 years.
Right.
Then I was fortunate enough to be able to go to work for the Redevelopment Authority and lead the redevelopment of the closed Air Force Base. And when, even though that's not over yet, we're on the downhill slide. I would think that the Redevelopment Authority will be finished by the summer of '09 at the latest, maybe even sooner. And then now I have the opportunity to see this. When I go back to 1994 here at the beach when I was in the 4th grade, and remember that's when they started building the base, when I was in the 8th grade here. Now to be a part of actually showing the world that we did what we said we were going to do.
I love it.
That might top it all.
I love it. Those are great words. Colonel Buddy Styers, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Greg.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Buddy Styers of the Market Common, Myrtle Beach, coming up next. 6 weeks to the day, the big day here is Thursday, April 3rd. Get out here. It's going to be a special day. I said we were focused on the 14th Annual American Heart Ball, second only to the presenting sponsor, the Myrtle Beach Herald. No one bigger and better than the Market Common Myrtle Beach, stepping up to the plate to fight heart disease and stroke. You can still be involved, but you got to pick up the phone, 843-282-2932. It's this Saturday. You got 48, 50, 60 hours to get involved, but you got to pick up the phone now. Please take the time to learn more about the Heart Association, to learn how you can be a part of fighting heart disease and stroke and making a difference, just like the Market Common Myrtle Beach. Thanks for being with us, buddy.